Okay, hi, my name is Michelle. Okay, I don't know what else to say. I had scoliosis in 2005. I'm in grade 13, and after I plan on doing fashion merchandising and marketing. When I had scoliosis, when I first found out about it, I was excited because it was something new and different, and no one else had it but me, so I was kind of excited because I felt special. I didn't really know what it was, and it just seemed kind of like exciting and new. When I found out I had to have surgery, it was kind of weird because I never really had surgery before. But then I was excited because I always wanted to know what surgery felt like, and I never really been in a hospital. So when they said, "Oh, you have to have surgery," I was just like, "Okay, let's do it." When we decided, I actually decided to have surgery as soon as the doctor told me because I just wanted to do it, see what it felt like. But my parents were a little nervous, so I just kind of talked to them about it and just said, well, you know, it's better for me if I do it. And I was on board as soon as he said it, so I was just waiting for it to come. I think my parents' biggest concern was my health and if I would make it through or not. But I wasn't really nervous about that because I knew. So I think they were just more concerned about my health.
I think one of our major concerns during or before surgery was that she was going to go through the surgery and come out still as Michelle, that there was going to be no hiccups, that the surgery would go well. Working with the spinal column, I mean, anything can happen to her. And we just anticipated and felt, what if something happened to her during surgery where she wasn't going to be the same kid coming out? But fortunately, she sailed through the surgery and she's Michelle. Take advice, don't anticipate that something will happen because chances it will not. Just take each day at a time, listen to your doctor, listen to your son or daughter, and you'll sail through without any issues.
Yeah, I would have surgery again if I had to go back. Just because it wasn't a big of a deal, kind of. It was just, like, I knew it was for my health, so I had to do it and I would do it again. It was fun. It wasn't as bad as everyone thinks. After the surgery, I felt crooked, even though I was straight, because when I was crooked, because I felt straight when I was crooked, and then when I was straight, I felt crooked.
You were crooked when you were straight, and you were straight when you were crooked. That was your...
Even though I was straight, I felt crooked because I was so used to being crooked that I felt straight. I felt crooked, but I really was straight, so that was really weird. I felt lopsided. The feeling lasted for about a couple weeks until I actually had to think, and it was more of a mental thing to realize that, my body's actually straight, so I had to think about it first before I could actually feel it. So it was kind of more of a mental thing in my head that I had to get over. The worst thing about being in the hospital was lying on that bed doing nothing. That was the worst part because I couldn't get up when I wanted to, and I couldn't move, and just everything in me, and the drugs, yeah, that was pretty funny. So the good thing about it was being taken care of. So I didn't have to do anything. I could complain as much as I wanted. So
it was a week of pampering.
Yeah, a week of pampering for me. How fast I got out of there was actually a surprise. And just how friendly the doctors and the nurses were, because I didn't think they would be that friendly. Because I know I wouldn't if I was getting up and dealing with all these patients. But they were actually pretty friendly and good to talk to. On a scale of 1 to 10, when I first woke up, the pain was a 0 because I couldn't really feel anything, and I was on so much drugs that I was just lying there and just looking at everyone, and I didn't feel anything. A couple days later, when I was still in the hospital, the pain on a scale of 1 to 10 was about a 3 or 4, just because I was still on medication. But after a few days, the pain went away and away and away, and I didn't have to take any medication. So I was feeling good. I was happy. The pain number when I was home was woo! It was 5, 6, 7. Just because I didn't have the medication that I had when I was at the hospital. So when I was at home, it was more Tylenol, and that eventually that wouldn't work anymore. So I just had to deal with it with what I was given. So before the pain settled down, it took about a couple months, probably the end of summer, but then when I went back to school, it started all over again, carrying books and just walking around and sitting down. But again, I took Tylenol, so that kind of relieved it. So I just kind of got used to like the pain I was dealt with. It probably went down after a couple months to like a 1. So today I basically have no pain. It's just like everyone else, like when they lift something heavy, that's the pain I have. Or like, yeah, pretty much just lifting something heavy or doing something that I don't normally do. But other than that, I have no pain like in my spine or anything. To rely on my parents was good because they were always there, but then when they went to work and just kind of left me at home with my sister, she was help, but I just kind of wanted to do things on my own, so I didn't really like to rely on people. But when I had to, they were always there, so I always knew that if I couldn't do something, then they would do it.
After Michelle had the surgery and was in the hospital, I didn't treat her as if she had a major back surgery. We got her up out of bed, we got her mobile, we were home in a record 6 days. When we got her home, unfortunately, my husband and I had to go back to work. We were a little hesitant, but we said, okay, Michelle, you have any problems, you can get a hold of us on our cells. We'll be home in 5 minutes. I'll have to say, because we got Michelle so mobile before she left the hospital, it helped her healing process fasten up remarkably. She did a lot of sleeping after. She was on a lot of medication, Tylenol or whatever the doctors had given us, a little bit of morphine if the pain got too intense. But she knew what she could do with her body. We felt that she was a young adult. If she had any issues, she would let somebody know. She was up, she was swimming. She wasn't doing it intensely, but she was out floating in the water shortly after surgery, which helped the recovery time and healing. Mums or dads, just treat her like she's the same kid, because she's gonna heal.